Hey guys, this will be about an hour, um, but, it's a time limit on this. First I want to cover something. Aspiring philosophy, these people, I'm not trying to get you to intellectually assent, get you to open your mind and believe with your mind the truth. Make an intellectual conclusion. That's not what Christianity is. That's not. If people would make intellectual conclusions that don't get born again, don't encounter God, the Most High God, and get radically changed, they are not saved. They are just religious. I'll give you two definitions of religion. It has to deal with pride in your works to get to God, or your mind, your belief system to get to God. When faith has to do with you already intellectual assent, just like you admit with your mind the truth. For example, I know somebody, his name is Corlin, and he intellectually assented. He knew the truth with his mind, and he admitted it in his head, in his thoughts. He knew the truth, and then he got born again. He didn't get born again because of the intellectual assent. It took months after that. So no, faith is this. Faith is that I'm aware that a parachute is real. I'm aware it's real. I know it's real. I have all these lies telling me, hey, maybe I can fly. Maybe I won't die. And I trust. I cling. I turn. I have confidence, and I put my life in the parachute's hands. I give dominion either to the lie or to the truth. That's what faith is. It's surrendering. It's giving dominion with your heart, not your mind, your innermost being. You give dominion to God. And that's what faith is. It's submission. It's you're trusting. You know the parachute is real, but you put it on. You put on Christ. You say, I know you're real, you're right. These lies are stuck around my head. I trust you. I cling on to you. So I'm not trying to debate you into intellectual assent. I'm trying to bring truth to you, to plant seeds in your mind that the truth, pricking your conscience, or however God wants to do it, brings you to a place of submission and surrender, and where you do admit and surrender to God and get born again. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the whole basis. So I want you to know, if you come to a conclusion, but do not put your faith in God, and in that evidence, you're putting your life in His hands, you're putting how you live in His hands, you trust in Him, you're clinging onto Him. Like, you know your mom is real, you know your dad is real, but you trust Him. You put your life in their hands, right? For protection. You did it when you were a kid. You put your life, you put their life in their dad's hands because he's their dad. So that's what faith is. It's you already know it's true. Faith is not you believe something is true. It's when you know it's true and you cling on to it. Like, for example, you have an awareness that your wife is faithful. So in the midst of all the lies and the slander, you trust in the faithfulness. You cling on to it. You hold on to it rather than in the midst of all the fiery darts of slander and lies about your life. That's what faith is. It's not an intellectual sin, and it's not believing something that's not there. It's not believing without evidence. It's trusting something that's evidently there. Okay? And the evidence you've done this is you get radically changed. It's a revelation. It's not an assent. I didn't intellectually assent. I got a revelation, and I got baptized in the Holy Ghost. I want you guys to know that I already said it before on this channel, that God has given me wisdom. God has given me all these things. I wasn't that intellectual when I was lost. God has made me this way. God. And what does it mean to be intellectual? It means you have a wideness to you when you can obtain, and when you can obtain and cling on to knowledge and wisdom. Intellectualism is you have a wideness to you, and a big capability to obtain and to hold on to knowledge and wisdom. It's not a bad thing. It depends on how you walk in it. People walk in the intellect and they become fleshy, and they're like spiritual atheists. They know God is one, they know the basics, but when it comes to symbolic things and spiritual interpretations of Scripture and the gifts of the Spirit that are not very usual and obvious to our eye, they reject it. Depends on how you walk in your intellectualism, in your intellect. I'm going to open this hangout. If you want to know my age, I'm 19 years old. Just so you know, 19 years old. So the hangout is open. Click the link if you want to join. And about my microphone, if I don't get this to work, I'm going to go and buy another one. I'm going to return this one and go buy another one. A different one. Can you hear me well? That's the question. Can you hear me? Yes, Maria, I can see your phone. So the hangout is open. Anybody wants to ask me questions in the chat box or questions? Well, let me, I want to make sure, Will, before I give permission to join, Will, are you here? The hangout is open, so if you want to join in and have a conversation, you can join. But before, I want to be careful if you join, because I want to keep trolls out of here. Not because I want to troll, I mean, trolls are just, they're not wanting to be reason, they're just wanting to mess around, so they're just, they're wasting my time, they're wasting your time. Anybody want to join? Conversation, ask questions, Bible questions, be a Christian, questions about anything that I'm knowledgeable of, you can ask. And I want to cover something. You atheists, cover right now. You atheists that say, we're the talking snakes and talking donkeys. That's an old school philosophical fallacy. That's actually philosophical fallacy. That's not just me trying to defend myself. It's an old school fallacy. The argument is, since we don't see these things happening in our culture normally, thus they cannot happen. Because it's not in the norm. A lot of things happen outside the culture and in nature that are not normal. So that is an old school philosophical fallacy. I recommend you don't ask that, because you just commit a fallacy you do.
Hello?
You're inserting them. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
It's no,
Hey, your sound is bad, but if you want to join privately sometime, you subscribe to the channel and click the bell.
well, my voice is a little bit quiet, sorry.
Um, hey,
I
go.
brought some of my friends. Here you go. Ta-da!
Hey, if you want to talk, then I recommend we talk privately. If you want to ask questions about Christ or whatever, I recommend we talk privately. So, you're already in the Hangout, so I'm just gonna add you on Google Hangouts, and then after tomorrow, I will call you privately on Google Hangouts.
Well, you don't have to call me. I'd be having a lot of work on my computer. Sorry.
Well, you can, okay, next time, subscribe to my channel and click the bell, and then next time I'm live, if you want to join, I will in the Hangout when you come in, and we'll talk privately.
Oh, so you want me to leave then?
Please, please leave now, and then we would talk privately together if you would ask some questions.
Alright, fine. Well, bye.
Have a good night.
Good night. Dang it.
a person of his age, well, someone like him, someone you want to like witness to privately. And if aren't sure you guys say anything, I'm just trying to take advantage of somebody. I'm not somebody who takes advantage of people that, I mean, I take on all you guys. So, if you want to join, then come in and join. And anybody think that was mean? It's not like, there's a lot of intelligent kids his age. But it doesn't matter your intelligence. Your intelligence doesn't matter. All matters is vegetables and people that are severely disabled can come in true spiritual faith in the Son of God and become born again. Your intellect doesn't matter. It's whether your heart is in the right position to receive the Son of God. That's what matters. So your intellect doesn't matter. But, that's good. So anybody wants to come in, ask some questions, have a conversation. This hangout will be, if I have somebody come in that offers a good and wants to have a conversation. If you ever want to have a conversation privately, all you have to do is join this hangout, and then I will add you on Hangouts, and then we can talk privately sometime. You just have to hook up with me through this hangout, and then leave because I already have you hooked up here on top of live. But it's not like I can't talk to someone that age live. It's better if I would just do it privately. I don't want to Windstone and go for this and whatever God is going to do. So again, if anybody wants to join, I'll put the link in the chat box again. You are welcome to join. Well, the open hangout is meant for people. I would say you can. You want to join? Come in and join. To answer your question, I would say you can be put back in the book of life. The purpose of an open hangout is the purpose of a open discussion. It's the purpose of somebody. If I wanted to do a video and just keep it just a topic, I would do one. I mean, I've done. I'm waiting for somebody. And I do need to start doing videos. People would want to see videos, and this channel won't just be a bunch of open hangouts. It's made You can't get in? If you can't get in, just let me know. I wasn't mean to that kid. So does anybody want to come in? Or does anybody want me to cover something? I mean, specific videos with titles are meant for me to cover something. And let me clarify for you. Let me also, I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, it's a fallacy, so don't ask it. Talking donkeys and talking serpents are pretty logical, counting if God made, if the serpent was a spiritual being and not a literal serpent. So the whole thing about, well, a serpent talks, no serpent can't talk, that's not only a fallacy, but that's ignorance. The Bible doesn't claim a literal serpent talked. It claimed a being, either a spiritual being manifested as a serpent, or spoke through a serpent, which is quite logical. And one, the Hebrew doesn't even say serpent. The Hebrew says a shiny being, a shiny one. It says light, basically a beam of light. It doesn't say serpent. That's what it says in English. So it could have just been a light, a beam of light. The English was incorrect. And you say, well, it's quite stupid if you think a donkey can talk. You said God made the donkey speak. Think with me. Can a all-powerful being make a donkey speak? The answer is yes. It didn't say the donkey just spoke. It said God made it speak. There's a difference. Don't say, oh, sounds like a fairy tale. I think a lot of fictional writings has done the spiritual realm, which logically exists if you have a basis for reasoning and so on. And I can explain that. Because in the natural realm, all basis for reasoning are chemicals in our brain, which are chemicals in cytoplasm and neurons firing, and which philosophers know that even science knows. There's no chemical that produces absolute truth. Go ask your science teacher. Go ask the science say, is there any chemical that produces absolute truth? The answer is no. So, your chemicals in a naturalistic evolutionary worldview is only meant to reproduce and to survive. Logic and morality doesn't go in that bundle unless you're wanting to widen the frame and say, well, morality helps you survive. Well, many cultures say, there's cultures out there that say it's moral to eat somebody. So is there absolute morality? And how can you prove it? Or is it subjective? And if you say subjective, is that objective? Is that statement we've said objective? It's quite foolish to say it's subjective. Because what you just said objective? No. And nobody go to your wife and say, honey, it wouldn't be exactly wrong if somebody came and raped you. Go tell your daughter, go kiss your daughter at night and say, you know what? It's not exactly wrong if somebody comes and murders you. You wouldn't say that, because you know it's not true. Here's the challenge for the atheist. If you're an atheist, live like one. There's one person in particular that lived like an atheist, and he should be given a reward because he actually lived like one. I would be careful in promoting this, but you know who he is? He believed in evolution, and what did he go on doing? Killing people. He was a serial killer. What? Because he fought in the evolutionary worldview. There's no reason for morality. We're just all dust. We're all chemicals. There's no significance. And that's exactly right. So if you're an atheist, I'll live my worldview, not be consistent. You live your worldview. My worldview is something the truth. And I can prove it with outside sources of philosophy, history, and archaeology. But here's a challenge for you. If you say you're an atheist, study philosophy and live your philosophy. Live it. And if you're a walking hypocrite, then maybe rethink your philosophy. Because if the philosophy of atheism contradicts your conscience, it contradicts your existence, then maybe it's not true. Consider that. Why? Why is all conscious why is all consciousness convicted of murder, stealing? Why does all morality go back to the Ten Commandments? Why, when my sister is anti-Bible, when she wants to support morality, she brings up the Ten Commandments? You know, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. Well, that doesn't say kill. It doesn't say kill in the Hebrew. It says thou shalt not murder. It's a mistranslation. Well, I think it's a misunderstanding. Gotta look at context. The Bible never condemned killing, it condemned murder. People want to say God's a hypocrite and say, well, God made people. No. Killing is executing, is ceasing the physical life out of just reasoning, while murder is ceasing the physical life out of selfishness, out of anger, and out of basically you esteem yourself above and your emotions above God. And you make your comfort and you make yourself the idol in that situation. God has reasons when he kills somebody. He doesn't kill somebody selfishly. He has reasons. That person was cursed. That person sinned against him. Thus they are justly. They logically should justly be killed. They should all logically be killed by God. Killing and murdering is a different story. If somebody comes into your house and rape your wife, and you go kill that person, that's not murder, that's killing. I don't support that for the Christian. I don't support that for anybody. I'm just saying that's not killing. Because if somebody came into my house and wanted to kill me and had a gun on me and I had a gun on him, I should die. Because if I have the choice whether he has a gun on my head, I have a gun on his head, then if I kill him, he goes to hell. If he kills me, I mean I can be going to heaven, so it's I should him kill me. Does anybody want to come in? Again, if you can't come in, then ask for my email. And if you don't want me to have your email, then I'll delete your email after I send the link to you. But if you can't come in for that link that I put in the chat box, ask for my email. I'll give you my email, and I'll delete your email after I send the link to you. That's if you want to join. I'm looking for the page. And there is Will. Well, I just wanted you here. I just wanted you here. Well, you can't really do nothing if somebody comes in. Can you? Yeah, you're the... Let me see. Wait. I want to talk about something today. I thought about it. I was about God. I was talking about God love. So there was actually a video I had an idea to do. I need to start recording videos and putting work into videos, like in the past. Yeah, if you want if anybody wants to, Maria, how is your daughter? Nobody is going. This is really going nowhere. I really need to play before I do a hangout. I mean, if I wasn't so quiet doing this, it'd be more edifying if I was doing a bunch of talking. There's nothing common in this. On these pattern lines, pull your own. Finally, debating this. Is somebody here that wants to ask questions? Um, this open hangout is for any atheist, any agnostic, anybody who wants to ask questions. Just you know my background. I'm knowledgeable in philosophy, history, archaeology, biblical stuff, and so on. So I am just some random person who wants you to come on, and somebody who can is worth the conversation. You know what? That he just randomly showed up. They were supposed to win this tonight. And I pretty much messed up. They didn't fight for this. I have him on hangout, so let me add him. Well, ending the hangout. Got into the hangout. This pretty much is north of it. If I wanted to go live before I'm again, it's a while on like 1000 minutes. And this thing is coming down. I'm blessed. Be blessed, all you guys, and Jesus blessed.